I like buying gear that makes my shots better or my life easier, or the holy grail sweet spot, both of those things. After sitting down to do my taxes, I realized how much gear I bought in the past couple of months, and I thought it would be interesting to go over what I bought and if it was worth it or not. The first lens is the DZO Film Arles, the 40mm. 2-second backstory about this. I recently bought a 7-lens kit of the Vespids, and I've been using these lenses, but the Arles were released like 31 days after I bought these lenses. So I was kind of stuck with these lenses. I like the way they look, but given the option, I probably would have went with the Arles, all things being equal. I was a little bit salty about that, and I was kicking around the idea of like selling my Vespid set to fund a set of Arles lenses. And then a client inquired about shooting something, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. If I sold my Vespids and put, just for a little while, put a set of Arles lenses on credit, I could like use the lenses to shoot this thing and put the money I was making from renting these lenses to paying off the credit. I'm glad I didn't leverage my future jobs to pay off the set of Arles I was gonna put on credit because the job fell through, and I would have kind of been holding the bag and not had my Vespids to fall back on. So going forward, I'm just gonna stick with my mantra of like trying to pay cash for everything. The next thing I bought was the Godox 19-degree spotlight. I was in the market for a spotlight, and I'm actually using it right now. This is the Godox 19-degree spotlight, and it is on a Amaran 100XS. And it's just giving me like a little bit more window light over here. I was, using this, and it just looked a little bit flat. Like this is giving me this shadow right here, and like a little bit on the fake plants there. And this is with it on, this is with it off. So I think it just like adds a little bit of something. Like it gives me like a little bit of shadow here and like lights up this side of the room a little bit more. I started recording this video when it was a little more light outside, so it probably looks like almost unmotivated at this point, but we're just rolling with this one. This is a pretty low-key video. I was looking at the Aperture Spotlight, not the Spotlight Max, but like the older Spotlight from Aperture. And that one is like about the same size as this Godox one, but I feel like it's a little easier to use this Godox one, and it was like a little bit cheaper. So I went with this one. I actually found it used on B&H for like a pretty good deal. Godox 19-degree spotlight mount, totally recommend. I found this one used for a good deal on B&H and made that deal even sweeter. The next thing I have is the CF Express Type A Atlas OWC card. I did a video where I reached out to OWC. They sent me one of their CF Express Type A cards so I can do some testing on it. I loved it, bought more of those cards with my own money, and I gotta say, I love CF Express Type A cards. I'm using the 480s, and I've been able to get through an entire day's shoot and not have to think about swapping cards. And they're at a good price point where if you want to do redundant recording, you can just put 2 of those cards in, and you're not spending like $1,000 a card or something. They're much cheaper than Sony's cards, and I still trust OWC with my data. I don't know if you could see it, but a Thunder Bay 4, and I have like other OWC RAID drives that I've been using for years. I used OWC RAID drives in college in like 2010. So I trust OWC with my data. I've been using them, and I love those cards. They did have a firmware update. I got an email about it. I just updated all of my cards, and it was no hiccups, but now I'm on the latest firmware. So it's nice to know that like if you buy a card and you're able to update the firmware, it's not like, oh, well, we're able to update it, but we're never going to have any updates. We're able to update it, and we found a fix for something that one customer ran into or something. We're going to push that fix out for everyone. And then we'll like, if you bought it, I bought them on B&H. So if you buy them on B&H, you can get the email from OWC. I don't know how they got my email, but they definitely sent me a firmware update on behalf of B&H to my B&H email. So that was pretty cool that like they're going the effort to actually support their products. I'm losing my voice. The next thing I bought was the Amaran F22c and the F21c. The F21 has been my backlight, and I have the lantern and skirt on it. I've been loving this combination because it's nice to have a nice soft light source that you can put pretty much anywhere, because this can be boomed out on a C stand and it's not that heavy. The F22 is definitely like a little bit heavier, and it has a fan. I didn't realize the fan noise difference between the F22 and F21. Maybe I should make a video going over this, but I really love the F21 because it doesn't have that fan noise. And it just seems like sometimes the F22c is like too bright at 1%. Like sometimes I just want like a little bit of soft light, even if I'm using the lantern. Yeah, maybe I should make a whole video like kind of diving into this a little bit more. But overall, the point of this video is, was it worth it or not? And I have been using the F21 and F22c all the time. So I would say these two lights are definitely worth it. The F21c can be rigged out pretty much anywhere because it's so light. The F22c, I've actually used this as a key light a couple of different places. The softbox maybe isn't as big as I would like it, but in a pinch, this definitely works. And I love that you can power these with V-mount batteries. Very quick story here. I was shooting a talking head for someone. We had to move locations. The new locations didn't have any outlets, but I was throwing the F22c in my car with a V-mount battery just in case. And it turns out that was a good idea because I actually was able to go back to my car, get the F22c, set it up, put the V-mount battery on it, and have like an hour and a half of pretty strong output. And it got me through that talking head. I also like that all the components are in this case too, like the ballast, the softbox, the grid, the light itself, the frame, the longer lead, everything fits in here, and you can just throw this in your car. Funny enough, the F21 and F22c are the same size case, so it makes packing and stacking things pretty easy. The next thing was a Pelican 1510. I used to have 1510s, but I felt like they were too small for what I wanted. So then I sold my 1510s and I bought a 1650, I think this is called. But as you can see, the 1650 is bigger, but it is way heavier. So I would rather have two 1510s than one big Pelican case here. So this Pelican case can fit a lot of different things, but the problem is when you load it up with a lot of different things, it weighs a ton. The older I get, the more I'm carting stuff around. Two lighter bags is easier than one really heavy bag. The next thing I wrote down were Sidio Crates, and Sidio Crates are really expensive for what they are. I saw their ads on Instagram and they seemed like a great idea, but they just seemed like a little too expensive for what they were. Essentially, they're just like glamorized milk crates a little bit. But after I bought one of these and actually was able to put all of my gear in it, it is a huge lifesaver. And honestly, I have bought more Sidio Crates than I thought I would buy. I just bought another like 3-pack of the basic bundle. It was like on sale for I think $86 with like the free shipping and 20% off sale they're doing right now. So these crates are expensive, but they have definitely helped me organize my stuff a little bit better. I had the, typical Husky tool chest that every YouTuber seems to have. And that is great, but it is a little bit limiting. Whenever I was building a camera, it was really difficult to like open one drawer, take out a V-mount battery plate and a handle, and then like root around and find it and do all this stuff. But now I have like this is just for cables. So if I'm like trying to power everything up or like, put video to a monitor or something, I just grab this container. And if I need a handle or some rods or anything, V-mount battery plate, I can go to this container. So when you're done with this one, you can move on to the next thing, and all of this stuff is just out of the way, and you're not like opening multiple drawers or like walking over different places. Long-winded response, but Sidio Crates, Very expensive, a little overhyped, but worth it. The next thing I wrote down was cord bags. Cord bags or cord pouches, or their bricks that they just came out with. I bought this extra large one and then like a couple of small ones and a medium one. They are extremely nice pouches, but you have to have like a specific thing that you want to put in there. Like this is an extra large, and I put all of my FX6 like rig parts that I'm not currently using in here. So this is nice to keep everything together. Just like the Sidio Crates, they serve a specific purpose. So if these are nice and they're cool and they're like a shiny thing to have that you could use, right? But I could see this being a little like overhyped of buying it. It's like, I think they're like $34 a piece, so they're kind of expensive. And then not having like the perfect use case for it, and then not using it to its fullest potential. So these are nice to have, but I would buy them like as you need them. So if you have, here is one in my giant Pelican case. This is only for my DJI LiDAR. Like this is a expensive LiDAR hub. So if you don't have this, or it breaks, or something is wrong, then the whole DJI focus transmission system does not work. So I think this is worthy of having its own cord bag to keep it safe. And this is nice, like if I'm, building a camera on my table, then I take out the hub and, open it up. It is really nice. There's, a little bit of space in here, but it's not like you're cramped, like bending these wires up in a weird way. I think this is the small pouch. They have an even smaller, I think it's called like fused pouch, but they have a lot of cool products. But I think maybe hold off on buying a cord pouch or a cord bag until you have a specific use case for it. When you have a specific reason to buy these and put something in them, then that makes a whole lot of sense. And I think it would be worth it. But if you just buy like, I'm gonna buy 10 of these and then figure out a way to use them. I think you may have more cord bags laying around, not being utilized to their best potential, when you could have used that money to buy something else to maybe do a little better for your overall business. So I think cord pouches are great if you need them. This is like teetering on not worth it if I didn't have specific use cases for each of these bags. Okay, this next one's super random, but I bought this on Facebook Marketplace. This is a Ulanzi Komen tripod, and this is just a really lightweight tripod. Before I was using a three-legged thing. It was like a really nice photo tripod, but for traveling, it was just a little too heavy. But this is like the perfect little travel tripod, and I can throw this in my check bag and it doesn't take up a lot of space or weight. So I remember traveling with like larger tripods before, and I would be going on trips with my wife and I would be like, yeah, I have like, 2 outfits and a pair of shoes and like this giant tripod. She's like, why are you taking this giant tripod? Like, get a travel tripod, you cheapo. So I went on Facebook Marketplace and I found this one, and it definitely is easier to carry around, and really just even if I'm in the office, like if I just need a really quick B-roll thing, this is very fast to set up. Again, I bought it on Facebook Marketplace from a lady that bought it and didn't use it. So I got a super good deal on it. And now onto the thing that I bought, and I thought I would use it way more than I actually did, but I really just never found the right project to use these on. And that is the Blazar Anamorphic lenses. I've used these in just personal projects, but I haven't really found like a client project that would want to shoot on the Blazar Anamorphics. They are really nice. They have like a cool image, but the things that I ran into with using these on a client shoot is if you want to really capitalize on the bokeh and the look of these lenses, you have to use them wide open or really close to wide open. And I feel like the 45 is a little bit soft in my testing. The 100 millimeter is definitely soft, but the 65 is the sharpest of the 3 that I have. This may just come down to like, I need to shim these, but I haven't had time to like sit down and really mess around and shim these myself. So if you guys have like a shimming video, I would definitely be interested in really shimming these and getting the sharpest results I can, because I tested these out and I was going to use these on something, but I just didn't feel confident enough that I could get a repeatably good image out of these. I will not be selling them, but maybe I'll be selling one of these lenses to replace them with a sharper one. If you guys have any thoughts on this, please let me know in the comments down below. And these are the things that I bought over like the last 6 months. And I always think it's interesting, like what people are really using and what they think they're going to use. And then they get them and they're really not what they thought they were going to be, or they're not using them as much. So I hope this was interesting and helpful to you guys. Let me know if you like it in the comments, and maybe I'll make some more of these videos in the future. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Sorry, my voice is like progressively getting worse and worse throughout this whole video.